what they allow to catch fire. And they're only going to try to have violent socialist, Fabian socialist, and communist movements financed by Wall Street and other financial interests to be ineffectual revolutions that also discredit revolution. Now, I'm not in the classical sense a revolutionary. I am a restorationist. I want my legitimate republic back because it's the best idea in history. It works really well when implemented. It produces more freedom, more security, more wealth than we can even handle. And thus the byproduct, the side effect of us being decadent, usurped slobs on average at this point. But the worm's turning as we go out of prosperity into decadence, into slouching, into tyranny, and then the Renaissance begins again. And that's the type of revolution I want. That's why I restate that routinely. Is a peaceful one of ideas. You always hear, oh, let's have a shooting war. Oh, let's have a march and go after the Capitol. The system wants that because they're losing the long-term societal info war. That's why they're trying to flood the country to turn us into the Tower of Babel where we can't communicate with each other and drive down the wages. That's why they're trying to shut off the power. That's why they're trying to increase the prices. That's why they're desperately trying to stir up race war all over the country. Because they do not have a hope if they don't engage in divide and conquer. Yesterday on the Sunday show, I talked about Sunday broadcast from 4 to 6 p.m. I talked about a comment on InfoWars on a story, again, out of Denver, where during a anti-police demonstration, anti-police brutality demonstration, a couple cops got run over pretty bad. Two of them are in critical condition. And the crowd began chanting, hit him again, run over him again. And we do have that video. We're going to play it later. And we said that was wrong. And people in the comments, a minority of them said, oh, now you're for the police. What's your problem? Hit him again. Students cheer when car runs into cops, critically injuring one. Now they're saying two are critically injured. And then a commenter below said, no, InfoWars sides with who's right on a case-by-case basis, not off of what color you are, not off of what group you are. And that's absolutely right. And I can't believe how mindless and tribal people have gotten. Whether it's the cops, whether it's white people, mixed folks, black people, whatever. Humans are all humans. We act just the same. Very tribal, very dumbed down. Because the cops have now been caught in Indianapolis tweeting out, I can't breathe hashtag, basically making fun of people. Unbelievably horrible. Just like chanting, run over the cops some more. It's the same mindless tribal garbage that will end our civilization. Disgusting. By the way, now the NFL has picked up the case of the black man choked to death, and I believe it's manslaughter. The cop was allowed off. I think it's a travesty of justice. And if now the NFL wants to put on their shoes, I can't breathe, that's a lot better than making Brown their poster child, because Brown was a thug. The evidence is overwhelming. And that's not the poster boy to reform the police. That is not the horse we need to bet on here. I want to reform the police so bad it makes my head spin. The case of Eric Garner, or the case of Kelly Thomas. Now, those are cases people should be looking at. But see, the media only picks up on racial incidences because it drives ratings. But that's only at the grassroots level in the media. At the higher level, it is pushed and promulgated by the talking heads of the White House and the social engineers because it's a Ford Foundation playbook to create division. Now, I'm done talking about that. I just wanted to basically get into that because that's why they dumb the propaganda down. Propaganda does not deceive people. It merely helps them to deceive themselves, Eric Hoffer. And I absolutely agree with that statement. So this broadcast is the opposite of dumbed down, talking point, stupidity. This is history integrated with research, integrated with common sense, integrated with archetypes of what really makes humans tick. We're going to come back with George W. Bush saying Hillary is his sister-in-law. Totally disgusting. These families work together.
This holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving, an in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. With your very own freeze dryer, you'll be able to freeze dry the food your family loves. Because we live in uncertain, difficult times, what better way to show your love for your family than to buy them a gift that helps them preserve food they can use now or in 25 years. Go to harvestright.com and find out how you can get your in-home freeze dryer. Layaway is available. That's harvestright.com.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to invasionstopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's invasionstopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's darkestdays.info. darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day, unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Obama, our own personal Jesus.
Your own.
At least if you're Tammy Fox.
Personal Jesus.
But now that he can't deliver all the free cars and houses and goodies that he promised back in the 2008 campaign, the Justice Department, with the Ford Foundation and others, are delivering racial crises and riots and demonstrations aimed at distracting everyone from the globalist real agenda. And what's the real agenda? I think I'm going to shoot a special report for the Nightly News, but I want to spend a few days producing it and really add a lot of research to it with the author of Compromised, Clinton, Bush, and the CIA. We need to get Reed back on the show. He probably hadn't been on in 5 years. And all the other experts and the Iran-Contra documents, because it wasn't Reagan running Iran-Contra. It was George Herbert Walker Bush with the Democrats as well. They just kind of double-crossed them. And the Clintons, it's been declassified, were both CIA, a fake couple. They were under the UK section chief for the CIA when they were Rhodes Scholars. They were installed as co-governors, basically, in Arkansas. George Herbert Walker Bush met 11 times that we know of in the year before Bill Clinton ran as governor. He would visit him in Kennebunkport, Maine. He would stay at his home in Houston. I mean, these people were thick as thieves. Now, back then, they acted like they were enemies. But the former CIA director also got caught lying. He wasn't made CIA director out of nowhere. He was in the CIA right after he got out of the Army Air Corps, was the Navy Air Corps. I guess he was in the Navy, flying aircraft in World War II. So who you think George Herbert Walker Bush is, isn't who he is. He's like Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is a KGB front / FSB today. And that's exactly what the Bushes are. And they created the Clintons to be their go-between. And I remember having Larry Nichols and Terry Reid and just all the insiders on back in the 90s breaking this down. And now, I mean, back then we talked about it, people thought it was wild. Now it's basically admitted. We have Laura, we have Barbara, we have Bush Sr., we have Bush Jr., we have Jeb, we have Marvin, we have all of them worshiping the Clintons. And let me tell you, when you look at the Bush's agenda versus their rhetoric and compare it to the Clintons, it is a carbon copy. A carbon copy. And this goes to the rhinos and the Rockefeller Republicans, as George Herbert Walker Bush called himself back in the 70s. They are what they call Rockefeller Republicans. If you can't beat Barry Goldwater, if you can't beat the real conservative movement, well, you just simply co-opt it. National Review was founded by the Central Intelligence Agency to control the right. Look it up. William F. Buckley, CIA. Just like Anderson Cooper, CIA. Just like Miss Magazine, look it up. Gloria Steinem, founded by the CIA. New York Times, look it up. Look it up. They want to control the fake left-right paradigm. We're transcending it. Sure, there's a lot more I agree with the Republicans and their rhetoric, but they don't follow it. The Texas Republican Party charter and platform sounds like I wrote it, but they don't follow it. And the system's scared that it might start to happen. So we have Barbara Bush and we have Bush. Let's go to the newest one with George W. calling Hillary his sister-in-law. Here it is.
You've often referred to Bill Clinton, and you talked about his relationship with your father and how it developed, and your mother as well, and he's your brother from another mother. What does that make Hillary Clinton to the Bush family?
My sister-in-law.
Interesting. And do you think that your brother could run against your sister-in-law?
Yeah, and I think he'd beat her.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
She's formidable.
Very much so. No question. So is he, though.
Yeah. So you'll take that bet?
Formidable?
Absolutely.
You think she'll run?
Of course, you're not going to make it because you're an objective news.
Two families
that's what I'm asking you.
Directly controlled by Yale and Harvard, through Skull and Bones, through this network. We're going to come back and play Barbara Bush. Who loves Bill Clinton? Barbara Bush does. I mean, I just want to remind people of this because I was in a gun shop back in like 2007, and I was complaining about Bush supporting the assault weapons ban, and a guy behind the counter at McBride's said, Alex, I'm sick of your always saying something true. He does not support that. And the owner goes, yeah, he does. That's true. He's right. I mean, just stop living in delusional land, okay? The Bushes are bad news.